bottom on bottom, a great poet said this once. I got trauma. You're so sick. All because you wanted to get for an hour. Ooh. Diva. We call that the gay audacity. Welcome to Poison Touch, the podcast where a couple of househeads give you the best and worst advice to deal with all of life's predicaments. I'm Jake. I'm your host. We're back. It is Pride Month. Happy Pride, everybody. And I am joined this month by up-and-coming icon, one of my new favorite DJs, and someone I'm glad to say that I'm friends with now. It's DJ Gaybash.
Be who you are
for your pride.
I'm so happy to be here. Hi.
How are you, my dear?
Well, I'm at home. No, I'm good. I had a beach day. You know, this past weekend was also one of the most amazing, incredible healing weekends of my life. You know, I'm feeling good. Funky.
The Pride gigs are gigging.
The Pride, you know, it's the way that I think I only really have, like, canonically, like, called a Pride gig. I think I only have one. But, like, I mean, I played techno under a bridge.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is kind of like, okay. Like,
and,
I was like,
and you went straight from there to go see Grace Jones after.
Yes, my friend. Okay, so let me paint the picture. I'm on my way. I'm already excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to play under a bridge. This feels like something out of a movie. I'm so excited. I also love playing techno. So I'm on my way. I was like, let me stop in Chinatown because it's Pingtown Bridge. I was like, let me stop in Chinatown. I'm getting some food. I got me some chicken katsu. I grabbed my food. We're living. I'm ready to go.
Where?
I just went to Bonchon because everything else was like I wanted to go somewhere else. Everything was just packed that day. It was Saturday and it was nice out.
Yep.
So I got my food. I'm so excited. I get a text from my friend Teddy. Shout out Teddy. Love you, girl. She says, I have 2 press passes to see Grace Jones and Janelle Monáe. I just sent back a picture of me going, yeah, so I did that gig. Immediately, I called an Uber, picked her up. We went straight there. When I tell you, because at first we were thinking like, oh, maybe we'll just get reserved lawn. No, seats.
Yeah, y'all
like
we were there.
12 behind the stage. I was like, oh my God, Grace Jones. I literally was the first seat in the row. Yes. Grace Jones walked through. Grace Jones walked through with Janelle walking behind. So I was feet away. Like, it was like
beautiful. It was such a good show. For those of you not in Chicago, Janelle Monáe and Grace Jones performed here about a week ago as of time of recording. It's the 12th of June.
Yeah.
It was amazing, fantastic, beautiful. I would have paid all the money to just see Janelle Monáe. I would have paid all the money just to see Grace Jones, but to get both of them kind of in like,
both of them.
It was fantastic. And they both did really good sets. I was
really good sets.
No complaints. However, I was really hoping Grace Jones would have played Walking in the Rain, you know.
Walking in the Rain, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of, I think it's also too, it's just like there's a lot of iconic Grace Jones tracks. It's like, which one do you choose?
So many.
That was also how I felt about Janelle Monáe, though. Janelle played Pink.
Yes.
And when I tell you Pink is like,
it's my favorite part. Pink is my favorite part.
Like, we got the Pink.
Yes, exactly.
I love that song so much. I connected with it as soon as I heard it for the first time and hearing it live.
It's beautiful. It was so good. But this is not a Janelle Monáe podcast. This is an advice podcast. And we're here to get into people's advice. But before we do that, let's talk a bit about you. Let people know who you are. I know you because actually we followed each other at some point, and then I just started swiping up on your stories. It was like, this is cool. And then I was like, I saw you with Labubu. I said, I got one of those. And then we just started kind of going back and forth on music and trinkets and all types of things.
We did. And then you would like send me like I think you started sending me that you were listening to my mixes. And I like when people do that because then I like giving people little inside tea or just like, you know, it is interesting. Like, honestly, when people tell me like, oh, I just listened to your mix or I listen to this mix when I do X, Y, and Z, gags me every time. I really be posting the mixes for me because I want to like document what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really nice when people really connect with them. So
I love it. Momo Tri-Beam still is in like heavy gym rotation. I'm telling you.
I fucking love that I just had because I was having a hardest time trying to figure out what I wanted the cover to be. Because I usually try to when I do my mixes, I a lot of times I try to use like manga art because I'm reading my manga a lot. And I'll like sometimes if I see like a panel I'm obsessed with, I'm like, oh, I need to use this for my mix. And I was having such a hard time because I was not reading at the moment. And then I was like, oh, wait, I was just reading Don to Don. This has to be Momo Tribe.
Here we go. See, if it was me, it would be like some random X-Men panel.
And that's
It would
valid
always be
too.
an X-Men panel for
And that's
sure.
valid too. But yeah, we met mainly online.
Yeah.
And then I mean, then we later thought, but like we in the same scene, so it's like of course we were gonna run into each other.
Yeah.
But we hadn't before, and then we were just like DMing and just like clicking.
It's just hard. I think for me specifically, like being in the quote unquote scene, but also not because I'm a bartender is very different. Like I am seeing people, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I am so locked into my schedule that it's not like it like if I were like a drag queen, right? Yeah, I'd be performing at different places all the time. But because I'm a
right.
bartender, I'm so like in the bars that I'm in that sometimes it's like I know all these people, but I just don't ever see them all that often. Bartending is it's a time. Anywho,
Bartending, I don't think I could do it, but like
it's fun. It pays the bills.
it
I like to
pays
call
the
it the devil's
bills.
bargain. The devil's bargain. It's quick money. It's easy money, but you do give up that whole weekend. That whole weekend is just
Period.
cut
Yeah.
out, cut out. I'm lucky enough that I get off early on Sundays. So Sundays I still like to, go and shake some ass. Um, but it's tough out here. Let's talk about the type of music that you actually play at a show. What can I expect if I'm going to go see DJ Gaybash spin?
You could expect a lot of things. I try to like I don't play the same thing every time. And depending on the party, I'm trying to switch up the vibes. But the music that speaks to me the most, I play a lot of house. I play a lot of techno. I love ghetto tech. I also love ghetto house. These are very like Midwest Chicago, uh,
Detroit, all that stuff.
right genres that I really, really connect with. And especially as like a black queer DJ, I want like to keep in my rotation because they are like where this culture comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing with a little bit of J-pop, and
Right.
I've also like UK garage. Yeah, I'm just having fun. Also,
And they're fun.
I'll play.
The mixes are fun. Anytime you're playing, I'm like, here we go. I'm always to hear something new, and I love that. That's what I
Right.
like. I'm like, oh, I hear something
Oh,
new. That's fun.
oh, and R&B. I play R&B to the ground.
I have a question that I ask all of my guests because this is the Poison Touch Advice Hour, and Poison Touch does come from Krogunk, this lovely little frog. What is your history with Pokemon, if any? And it's okay if you don't have any history with it.
No, I have a history. I grew up mainly watching Pokemon and playing the game. My first Pokemon game was Diamond and Pearl,
Okay.
which I feel like is a good starter Pokemon game. I think I later played like Emerald and then Sapphire.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
feel like I played Black and White, but not all the way through. There was a point where I was very, very hyper fixated on the Pokemon trading card game. But I'm at a point now where I'm just like, girls, I really can't do it. You're trying to ruin my life. All my money will leave.
Yeah.
I'm so after the chase.
And the
Um,
resellers are like insane. The people crowded.
girl,
The Jewel has the vending machine. I have seen that thing stocked once. There has been Pokemon cards in that vending machine once. They are like waiting outside that vending machine to like clear out the stock. It's crazy.
first of all, didn't even know Jewel Osco. That's really the gag for me.
A lot of the jewels in the city have Pokemon vending machines.
I'm glad I got off when I did. The other thing was, at the time I was living in the burbs because I moved to Chicago in May of 2024. And before I was living in the burbs, there's not really anywhere to play with anybody competitively. Now I feel like I can find people in Chicago who are like queer or I'm in community with that also are into Pokemon cards. Like it wouldn't
100%.
be that like here, for example.
You
But
can always play
like
on the app too. I love playing on the app.
it's not the same for me. Like I
It
really
isn't the
want to slap that
same.
card down and I want to see you cry, bitch.
Oh yes, I just want to show this card real quick. I've been holding on to this. It's like I think it's the only card that I have like is like really
Oh,
This hollow Chansey.
okay, Chansey. Is that, oh my God.
And I think it's
Ooh.
like low key maybe worth something, but then I have this slowpoke. This is one of my favorites.
Oh,
Acha.
I
It's so
love. I
cute.
love a full art. I love a full art.
Love a full art. We're gonna take a quick break and then we'll get into people's questions because we have a lot to get through today. So I just kind of want to
Yeah.
hit the ground running. We are back from our break. We spent the break talking a bit about The Legend of Korra. And if you want to hear that
Yes.
tiny conversation, it'll be over on the Patreon for your, kind of viewing pleasure. We have very intense feelings about Korra.
I'm
That is our
passionate.
girl. We have an update before we get into the new questions. This is a second update from BabyBoyToy. For those of you following along at home, BabyBoyToy is the person who last month wrote in about potentially entering a kind of marriage pact with their friends with benefit to allow them to get a green card. And what me and Joel said were like, love that you want to help out this person. I don't know if you need to be legally tied to them because it's very pointedly friends with benefits husband and not like my best friend's husband. You know what I mean? So they wrote in a little more with kind of one update, and then like several weeks later they wrote in a second thing. So I just put them as one.
Ooh,
Here it is.
okay.
BabyBoyToy writes, I listened to the episode where you talked about how noble you thought it was of me to help out my friends with benefits. For clarity, both him and his husband aren't legal citizens of the US. I want to help out the friends with benefit, but we were supposed to have a conversation with his partner there so everything could be out in the open. I've known the friends with benefits since the summer of 2022, but getting back to the point, I want to help out, yet I don't want to legally make a mistake for the rest of my life. Okay.
Fair.
And several weeks later, they write, it looks like the saga of this telenovela might be coming to an end. I recently talked to my friends with benefit that wanted me to marry him, and it looks like that won't be happening anytime soon because he said that he might have to leave the country in August or September of this year. Although I will miss the bomb-ass sex and the friendship between us, I will always have love for them because they brought something out of me that I didn't know I had, which was knowing what you want and demanding. Okay.
Period.
So this is a decent update. They kind of, there's not much advice to give here because they kind of solved their own problem, or the problem got solved
It's
for
resolved,
them.
yeah.
I hope that they're not leaving the country not of their own will, which is a great time for us to say it's always fuck ICE now and forever. Go out, protest, post things, share safety resources. I think is kind of like the biggest thing.
Yes.
Is for people that like just don't know. Because I think posting a safety resource, information is the name of the game, and just knowing
Absolutely.
how
Remain
to protect
informed.
the community around you, reporting where ICE is seen in certain communities or places in the city, especially Chicago. Like the other day, where they were up by like Granville, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just like posting things like that, like really just kind of like getting the information out there for people to see, to be aware of, because word of mouth, it'll just keep spreading and keep spreading. So
Absolutely. I think you need to share those things. Also, like, if you have people close in your life, making sure that you're checking in on them, making sure that they're okay, because, they're probably going through a lot right now. I mean, I
100%.
live in Humboldt Park. They literally, I'm hearing and had to share with people of just like they're at the grocery store. I don't think it's fair that they should be trying to make people feel scared in their own communities, in their safe spaces. And so the way that we take that back is to inform each other, protect each other, and stand together.
Always. But yeah, I the one thing I do want to point out here is that they do say, I want to help you out, yet I don't want to legally make a mistake for the rest of my life. Now, I don't.
Because I was sitting there thinking, like, friends with benefits is getting deep. Like, I didn't.
Yes, because to me, friends with benefit is like we fuck around, and maybe like we'll go get ice cream once in a while. Like something chill.
And I'll do you a favor, but this is a big favor,
yes,
yo.
this is a big favor, and that's what we said last month. Was like, surely they have to have some other type of like friends or support system that would like be a better fit than just the guy that I'm hooking up with every now and then. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But here we are. We were literally talking about stand by your community. Maybe we shut up. We should shut up. Support the girls. Get married.
I think you can support the girls without needing to tie yourself legally in a marriage contract. That being said, I
Or
don't
yours
think it's a
too. So,
mistake for the rest of your life. Like if you were to do
yeah.
this, let's say down the line you did have to get a divorce,
Hmm.
that's not a mistake for the rest of your life. Divorces are messy, but those are the type of things that you
Hmm.
would like figure out before you enter the, like sign a
Right.
prenup and do this and keep your assets, especially because you're not marrying for to like join your stuff. You're marrying to
Right.
ensure citizenship.
Right.
But anyway, it looks like that is not the case anymore. Things are changing, but I do hope the best for your friends with benefit. And I'm glad that you learned, knowing what you want and demanding it. That's important. That's important. I feel like
Exactly.
everyone reaches that point where they kind of realize like, oh, I gotta ask for it. Ask for it. What's the
As for
worst that
it,
happens, right?
they say no, and then honestly, I'm learned. I this is a reminder to myself. Like I'm somebody that I have a hard time with rejection,
Hmm.
and but I remember like the more that you accept being told no, the easier it becomes.
Yeah, exactly. That's something I've been working on as well, is like just asking for it and then, learning to sit in the no's. And that's okay.
Sit with discomfort.
Sit with, yeah, exactly. Learn to, yeah. Baby boy toy, thanks for all the updates. I really appreciate, and this goes for everyone else. If you have submitted and you have little updates to give and you think, oh, it's not that important, send the update. It's
No, the girls want
important
the
to
tea. The
me.
girls want the tea.
Exactly. I like knowing what changes have happened, even if it's not something that I can
Exactly.
necessarily give advice on. Like here, there's not advice to give, but it's still nice to know that there is somewhat of a kind of like bookend to the story. I love updates so
Exactly.
much. It's time to get into the new questions though.
Okay, period.
This is gonna be a quick one. It's from Curious Friend. It's listed under other. And they write, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on Omegaverse lore. Are you a fan? Now, Bash, are you familiar with the Omegaverse?
Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. I am familiar, not enough to like know what anybody is talking about, but I'm
Okay.
like, I can identify. I'm like, oh, they must be talking about Omegaverse right now.
Same.
Um, I can say that I'm not particularly a fan, but like that's just for me. I think I do kind of love the culture a little bit. Like
I love
it's a
it.
little
It's
funny,
crazy.
but
I'm like, oh,
in like
y'all are
a fun
down
way.
bad. I just learned what a knot was the other day.
Now you better put me on.
Wait. Oh my god. Okay. So a knot is like a knot is so the alpha has a penis, and at the
Okay.
base of that penis, so there's balls, right? But then like
Right.
above the balls at the base of the shaft, there's a knot. It's like big and thick. And so it
Okay.
swells and then it like locks into the omega. And so it's like imagine if you had like a second set of balls at the bottom of your shaft, but it's like a knot. And so it like locks them in so that until they finish, like the deed is done. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a bonding thing between alpha and omega.
You better work. You,
I
you
just learned what
better
that was.
work.
And if that is the wrong definition, right back in and let me know, because that's what I started seeing some art and I said, no, why does this penis have an inflatable around it? Because I was like, why
When
does it look like that?
my next photo shoot,
Omegaverse.
inflatables, inflatables on all. Yes.
Oh my, yeah. So I just learned what that was. I think I'm similar to you where I'm like, I love the kind of like fandom around Omegaverse stuff and how they apply it
Hmm.
to they could apply the Omegaverse to anything, you know?
Pretty much. And I think also like I feel like last year there was a friend whose benefits I had who was a pup, and I didn't really know a lot about pop culture, and I feel like I was definitely in a place where I was like very judgmental about it. But like he really, really educated me. I still like kind of learned to be like it's not for me per se, but I
Hmm.
really, really do like get it a lot more now. And I respect and I've learned. And same with like furries. And I actually played a rave called Night of a Thousand Tales or party rave,
Oh yeah.
and it's like a furry pet play rave. And I am gonna sit here and tell everybody that is one of the best crowds that I've ever had in my
I could
life.
imagine. I could imagine.
It was so amazing. I said, anytime y'all want me back.
Because I feel like to be in the furry community or to be like a part of that is to be open to giving yourself over to experiences and to like being in that kind of event around like-minded people. And that lends itself to giving yourself over to the music. So it doesn't
Okay,
surprise me that that would be like a really good crowd because you know
break it up.
they're there to do everything that that event is about, from music to like playing in like the playpen to going to the dark room to like just kind of being in that space. I that tracks a lot. That makes perfect sense to me.
No, it was so, and even like now, I wasn't playing with anybody, but I had my ears on, I had my tail, and I was wagging, y'all. I was having so much fun, and like the energy was just so good. It was such a good crowd. Like I'm forever. I stand with my furry friends.
Yes, yes. Also, the furries are often rich. They just got money. Fursuits are expensive as fuck.
Don't even get me started.
Rich, rich and ripped for
Rich.
no reason. Like
Under that suit got a belly, under ripped as hell.
ripped, baby. My God. But yeah, back to the Omegaverse. Love the lore. I love whenever I learn about something. All the mating rituals. I
It's
think it's
camp.
very fun. Very
I
fun.
live.
I feel like lately I've been seeing a lot of Omegaverse stuff for like JJK. Lots of Gojo. That's how I
I'm
learned what
just
that's what the knot. I learned about the knot through that. It was like Gojo and
it
Ghetto.
just kills me. I was just like, we haven't like okay. It's just because I love JJK, but it just surprises me that y'all like Gojo still has a hold on y'all like this. Like
Crazy.
it's just a little shocking. But
Crazy.
is what it is what it is.
Yeah. I think Gojo's fine. I don't know if I'm like yeah, the
Right
same
now,
way that
like I'm
everyone
not
else is, but
Sukuna I get a little bit more.
it's the at the arms. You add another pair of arms on
Right.
there. It's why I like Machamp.
He ate that one little thing. He ate that one little thing. His little
I
chop
think
chop.
I realized I need to reread the end of JJK.
Girl, and it's the other part, it's the way that the manga now, mind you, I think I tried to start with the manga and I inevitably just stopped because I was like, okay, the manga is fine, but I was like, I enjoy the anime more, I think. And the other thing is I would always talk to my friends who read JJK, and especially towards the end of the last couple arcs, they were just like, I
They
don't know
just
what's
kept
going
dragging it. I
on, but
had
I'm
no idea.
along for the ride, I guess. Like
Yeah.
they're more like, I'm just gonna see it through. It gets a little too convoluted, I believe, at the end, and
I
very
think it
like,
it had a lot of the same problems that My Hero had towards that last arc, where
mhm.
like we're keeping track of all these different things going on at the same time. And my
Right,
brain is like, what was happening 2 weeks ago? I just don't
right, and then like,
remember.
oh wait, there's this one rule that we've always had, but now we're suddenly gonna break it, or like, actually, there's a ability we forgot about, where actually none of this actually matters,
Yeah, the
and
MacGuffin
we
shows out of
win.
nowhere. I go, what? It's like Chekhov's. It's not even Chekhov's gun. It's like Chekhov's soul sword.
Right? Like,
It's always something like what?
oh, I'm crying.
Yeah, so I think I agree. I might have to be an anime girl for that one. Next up, we have Poppy Chu. It's a sex and love question, and they write this was a little bit longer. My ex and I have been broken up for a good 7 months, and overall the breakup was pretty mutual, where we met in the middle about how we continue to be in each other's lives. Ooh. Just ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. I wanted to go no contact. I felt it would be easiest, but it wasn't that easy for him. Completely understandable. Although mutual for the most part, I'm the one who initiated the breakup, they say in quotes. Neither of us were in the right headspace mentally and emotionally to handle a relationship, and I know I needed to make that tough decision. Long story short, give us the long story, baby. Give me the long story
Give
long.
me the long story.
Long story short, there were many instances after this breakup where my ex found it difficult to respect the boundaries we set, and I'll admit it was difficult for me to let go as well. So I would sometimes cave in and allow it. After so many instances of it ending kind of bad or with some kind of argument, I decided it was officially time to go no contact because I didn't want to begin to resent him in that way. I could feel it was happening already. This is a man I love, duh. You know, the D is in parentheses. And love slash loved wholeheartedly after all, and I wanted to keep good memories of our relationship without tainting them with all the new stress after our breakup. Although we've been broken up for some time now it feels truly empty. Like that part I was holding on to is actually genuinely gone because it has to be. I feel sad, but also free. Say that.
Say that.
It's a very conflicting feeling. I can't help but long for the person I was so deeply connected to and keep thinking about and hearing his voice crying and begging for me not to go no contact. Honestly, it's so maddening having to be the one to make that hard decision, knowing your heart wants to stay, but logically knowing it's not healthy. I'm confident now that I can maintain the no contact, and now I feel happy in my own company without a partner. My focus is now my career and my life goals and watering the relationships I have now, both friends and family. Oy, tough decisions, tough decisions. First off, you know, commending you for being kind of the not the bigger person per se, but the one who is more willing to break it off when it hurts. And sometimes you do just have to break it off even when it hurts. And sometimes when it hurts is when you need to break it off the most.
I relate.
100%. I feel like so many people have had instances of this. I think anytime you break up with someone, if you break up but your goal is to still be in each other's lives immediately after the breakup, you didn't break up.
Yeah. I mean, look, because I very much relate to this story because I recently just ended like a situationship, which I guess like maybe in my position, a situationship is a little bit easier to continue the relationship than maybe like a full on relationship that has ended.
Yeah.
However, though, I did kind of like we did talk about this a lot, and it actually was a similar situation of like them just like being like you know upset that I was just going to like abandon them, and that also wasn't fully my goal either. I think it's healthy if you do want to hold on to relationships that you feel like feed you in some type of way, but like if at the same time, if it's like if your only reason for staying is like out of guilt or like out of like you don't want to like make them sad, I don't think that's a valid reason.
Or on the other side, if your only reason for staying is because it's easy and because that's what's comfortable,
Right.
that also isn't a good, because I've definitely had, I can think of specifically one relationship in college where I did not break up with them because I was just comfortable, but I wasn't happy. But it was easier for me at that time to just stay with them and just continue to be unhappy. When looking back, I'm like, why didn't I just break up with them and just focus on myself? You know what I mean? So I think it is another one of those things where you have to sit in the discomfort.
You do have to sit in the discomfort and you'll grow from it. And I'm also like not a person too. I'm somebody that definitely believes that time heals. And so there's nothing to say that like, okay, you're no contact right now and that like y'all can't come back to each other at their lives. But especially though I'm hearing like if they're crossing your boundaries, I get why you had to go no contact. Like
100%.
You got to be firm on your boundaries. You got to be firm, like, especially if, hurt has already been caused, like, please no more.
Listen, if we break up and we're like, we can still be cool, but then you're showing up outside my house or, doing all this messy stuff and just crossing those boundaries.
Spooky.
Maybe.
No.
Go no contact.
And then it's truly not feeding you at that point. It's actually stressing you the hell out.
Yes.
So,
which they say all the new stress after our breakup. They're like, this is stuff that is only happening now that we're not together. I mean, it sounds like that. I mean, everyone needs therapy, get the therapy. Go see that lady.
Me writing honestly, me not doing therapy right now. My therapy right now is sitting on the bus and writing in my journal. It is healthy though, because I do feel like it makes me sit with my emotions. It makes me sit with my thoughts more. I'm just like, wait, but why did I feel that?
Oh yeah. See, that's the outlet. That's the outlet. I think the ex probably needs something like, because it sounds like the ex was so
wrapped up in
focused and wrapped up on the part about like don't leave me, don't leave me.
Yeah.
And rather than being kind of in the space of what can I do for myself. You know what I mean? And it
Mhm.
sounds like Poppy Chew is more so in that place where they're like, it's time for me to focus on myself, my career, my life, my goals. And I don't know, it sucks. I think honestly, for me, after a breakup, it's no contact. At least now.
Yeah,
After
she
after that one
cold
time,
killer.
and I think I agree with what you said. It's like we're gonna go no contact now, but that doesn't mean we can't come back at some point.
Right.
Because there are several of my exes that I am still cool with, friendly with. I would even go as far as say, you know what I mean. But it definitely was that like a couple of time after the breakup where I was like, I don't want to see you, don't talk to me, because then I'm gonna really start to hate you.
Yeah,
I
because you
gotta cool
just
off. Then I'll come back and we could be chill.
that's good. Yeah, like I've had to initiate that space and been like, give me some time. Like, because I don't want to feel like every time I see you, I'm just right back in what I was feeling, or like
100%.
now I'm feeling jealousy. You know, let me woosah real
Mm-hmm.
quick and then come back. I'm good.
Exactly.
Let me crash out and
Exactly.
come back.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to be like, I never want to be at a place with somebody, relationship or otherwise,
Mhm.
where like if I see you at the club, one of us is leaving the club. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I
That
really don't
feels
want that
messy.
stuff.
That feels
Oh my
messy.
God.
I want us to be able to be in the same space, even if we're like not talking to each other.
Mhm.
We should at least be able to be in the same club without one of us being like, girl, we gotta go. Jake's here. You
But shit,
know?
it happens. It happens. I've been there. I've and like I feel like one of the healthiest things to do is like when you feel like you're feeling something, sit with it for a second, be like, what do I need? Go outside, maybe go get you a drink, go find a
Mm-hmm.
friend. Like, because I'm very much the person I was like, you know what? I can sit with these emotions for a minute, move on, and continue about my fucking night.
Exactly. Like Sis's grandma said, we don't have to like each other, but we don't have to treat each other mean.
Ex-
You don't got to treat me mean. You know?
I love how you had that quote ready.
Sis's grandmother, she's always in there. She is
You know what?
always in there.
The real star. Okay?
100%.
Unsung, unsung.
The unsung hero. Oh yeah, Papi Chu, it is tough. It is tough. But honestly, it's good that you were the one to kind of take a step back and be like, this isn't working. Because
Mhm.
the ex knows it's not working because y'all are adding all this extra stress to each other's relationship after this breakup. You both know it isn't working, but they would rather have part of you than none of you, even if the
Yeah.
part of you that they have is a part that's going to end up hating them, you know? And
Yeah.
that's tough. And that is tough. It doesn't mean that the ex is a bad person. It just means the ex is like, it's just having more of a hard time letting go of y'all's relationship than you were.
And it can be hard knowing when to let go. I'm an Aries. I feel like Aries will stick beside you till the wheels are falling off until they feel slighted. And then it's um but there's also a point where you just need to be honest with yourself and be like, you know what? I need to let go so I can heal.
100%. Are you someone that gets over breakups easily?
I guess it depends. Like, if it's somebody that like I genuinely was like really invested in like falling for, I feel like my last relationship was definitely a hard one, but it was also like an extremely rough way that I felt like we broke up. And it was also like it felt like it was one of those where I felt like at the end of the relationship I was still really invested and I could feel that person pulling away. And that's a hard one to sit with,
Oh
especially
yeah.
like after everything. But I really do try to continue to move forward. Like I feel like at a place now where I'm like, I don't really have ill will for anybody. I'm really not trying to cause harm. Like let's try to be at a place where we're both just feeling good. We don't have to be in each other's lives. We can be in each other's lives, but like let's make sure that like we're both just like feel respected and feel still loved.
100%. I have been told that I get over breakups really easily, but I don't think that that is necessarily a true thing. I think people see me like smiling after a breakup. They're like, "Oh my god, you're over it." It's like, no, we expect me to just mope around all the time. I think a lot for me, so much of it is like internal stuff that I'm just not gonna be showing to everybody. Or I remember I had an ex get mad once because I like hooked up with someone like a week after we broke up. I was like, girl, it's been at least a week and I was horny. Like, don't be mad at me, sister. And how you gonna be mad at me because you saw me on Grindr because you were on Grindr? How did you see me? You saw me somewhere. So let's talk about that.
See, this is the thing too. I've also had to remind myself. I was like, at the end of the day, you really just can't control people. You can only really control what you do. You can control like how you operate about things. Just make sure that you can sleep good at night.
Also,
but like,
I can still be mourning. I can still be mourning a relationship and still go hook up with somebody. Those two things aren't like mutually exclusive.
Emotions take time. I can be working on them. Like we can multitask. Actually,
exactly.
We can multitask.
And I am a very good multitasker. I just think for me, it's like it's a lot of internal work that I'm doing like myself, and a lot of like sitting with those emotions for myself. But then when I'm out and about, I'm like focusing on my friends. I'm focusing on work. I'm doing my thing, you know. And I think I'm not going to be out here moping and crying in the club because of a breakup. You know, I'll cry at home. You know.
You know, I'll be that girl for about 5 minutes, and then I'm out.
I'll cry at home listening to Enya. I'm not going to be crying at the club listening to DJ Gaybash. Okay. Never that. Well, Papi Chu, best of luck with mourning this relationship. It's always tough. If you have an update from when you are, you know, fully healed and you see that your ex is doing better, and maybe y'all come back together and you're like, you know, we could be cool. We could be cool.
And you know what? I really felt for you. If you find me out sometime, reveal yourself. And I'll give you a hug and we can connect over this, because I feel you. I understand the struggle.
I have been on both sides of this story. I have been the one who has had to pull away, and I have been the one who has been like, no, don't leave. Don't leave.
Please stay.
Please.
I need you.
Yeah, I've been on both sides, and it's hard from both sides. So, you know, we live and we learn. Tomorrow always comes. Our last question for today is from Ghost. It's a general advice question, and they write, I recently went to brunch with a friend who's a huge Nicki Minaj fan. We got into a conversation about her, and while I respect her music and impact, I have serious concerns about her support of people with abusive histories, particularly her husband, who is a registered sex offender. He pled guilty and legal evidence supports her claims. I've done advocacy work again around abuse, and I know survivors personally, so this really hits close to home. When I shared my thoughts, my friend became defensive and even said something on the lines of, well, some women lie. That really unsettled me.
Ooh.
He sees Nicki almost as a perfect figure and didn't want to engage further. Now I'm questioning if I should try to revisit the conversation or if it's a sign we're not aligned on something core to my values. Do you have any advice on how to navigate friendships where fundamental beliefs about harm and accountability are so different? This is a tough one.
It is a tough one. It's a real one, especially too, because I think this is also, so I have a very interesting, no, let me not say that. Let me not say that before I even speak. But I feel like I have an interesting perspective on this because I have a very like classical music background.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to college studying music. And, you know, this is a topic that has come up of like a lot of the like separating the art from the artist. Because there's a lot of classical musicians with like very weird histories, or like, you know, by today's standards, did some very not cool stuff. But it's like, okay, should we still be learning their music? Like, or should we still be talking about them? Should we cancel them now? Yeah. It's like, you know, it's a big debate. I feel like it has to change from person to person. I know plenty of queer people who don't agree with Nicki, like in her actions. I can't really say that I agree with her actions, but like 100%. Her music it's so impactful and so like crucial to like a lot of people's like identity.
100%. Stupid Hope came out of the bar yesterday, and instinctively I was activated. I activated. And the thing is like I 100% do, like, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff. Current Nicki to me is not the same Nicki that we had from even like 4 years ago. You know what I mean? And so, but yet the music starts, and it happens, you know,
right.
It's like the sleeper agent is in there, but that's the difference. I'm not a barb. I wouldn't consider myself a barb. I think I'm like maybe a reformed barb, you know, like the sleeper agent. The sleeper agent is still in there, but I'm not still on the train. It sounds like this person's friend is very much still on the train. They were probably making
Mhm.
Gag City AI art, you know.
The Gag City AI, are you really just unlocked a memory in me right now?
Like they were probably making, you know, Bigfoot AI.
I
Like
just love them all being yossified. Like it was so
so stupid. And the thing is like when it comes, this is a hard thing because it's not just about their thoughts about what it's tough, right?
here.
Because it's dealing with stan culture in addition to dealing with this whole question of do our values align and with them
Mhm,
saying will some women lie,
mhm.
and I'm like, is that them really believing that, or is that the stan activating and saying whatever they can to try and like defend Nikki? Because some people
Reckon with it, yeah.
that's like, it's so tough. Arguing with barbs is probably one of the most futile things you could do. I'll say that.
Yeah, it really is like spitting on a fire. It's like it is tricky. I think here's what I think. Because it's one thing having a conversation about like the whole Nikki of it all. That's another thing. But I do think that like saying out of your mouth some women lie in terms
That's
of like
crazy.
assault and things like that. Okay, I understand why your eyebrow is raised and you're looking at them crazy. I think that's definitely like, hey, I feel like there's nothing wrong with addressing that and being like, hey, okay, like Nikki is one thing, but if that statement is something you believe and are truly standing by, I don't think that like I can really support you in that. And I don't think that
Exactly.
I really like want to be friends with somebody who really truly believes that.
And
And
this
it
is
could
this
be
is where
like
I was going. Yep.
they're like, I was just talking. I really don't mean that, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
if that is truly what they believe, you know what? Don't let the door hit you. Get the step
Exactly.
in.
Exactly. That's kind of what the crux of this advice is. I don't think you need to revisit the Nikki of it all again, but I would
Right. Cares
100%.
about Nikki.
Yeah. I don't think you ever need to, and it could be one of those things y'all just don't talk about Nikki, you know. But I would
Okay.
100% bring up the part about will some women lie, because you need to figure out if that's how they really feel, because then you know this. Oh, this is somebody who like really doesn't believe the same things that I. You know what I mean?
Right. Because I'm just like at this point, you know, Nikki's not in anybody of our atmosphere, but there are probably women around you that you also might bring around your friend, and you want to make sure that your friend is also looking out for them.
Exactly.
Clock that T.
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing for me is like, if that is the case where they were just like, you know, sleeper agent activated, they started defending Nikki no matter what,
Huh.
said whatever they could. That's one thing. And I would love to have a conversation to try and unpack that, but you just can't argue with the barbs. You just can't. They're just
Yeah.
like
And they'll keep going.
yes, and they'll keep going, and then they're just going to dig themselves into a bigger hole, and then it's really going to be the thing. But I would, you'll 100%, you do need to figure out whether or not this is something they really believe.
Also, I love how I'm saying all this in pain.
Pink wig, thick
Uh-oh.
ass.
Wait. My sleep agent activated right before.
Yeah.
Like
I get it cracking like a bad bag. She looking like a lab
Wait,
rat.
oh, hold on. I'll put that leg up. I'm not
Uh-huh.
scared.
See, it's in us. It's in us. But we have divorced ourselves from the barb, you know, mind virus that infects. And it's not just the barbs. I feel this way with a lot of stands. A lot of people are so deeply ingrained in stan culture, deeply obsessive with their parasocial relationships to a point where they are defending their faves by saying the craziest shit.
Right.
Truly insane stuff. I've been seeing it lately a lot with Drag Race fans.
Yeah. Drag Race fans is another one where I'm just like, I think we have to remember the humanity in all of it. It's like, yes, you're watching these people and and this is another thing that I think specifically like our age culture. I mean, but this is also like a multi-generation thing. I think people see you on their TV screen or they see you on their phone all the time and they feel like they have this access to you. They feel like they're your friend because you kind of are with them all the time in a way because you're in their
Mhm.
phone. But like you need to realize that these are people and you need to like respect them. They're sensitive. They are not like robots. They feel things and you need to be mindful of that.
Also, you don't need to go to bat for everything. You don't. These people are not asking you to go in. Well, Nikki might. Nikki does send the barbs on people.
She does send the
She
bombs on
actually does
people.
do
That's,
that.
I mean,
And I think that's part of the problem. Honestly, is like she's kind of cultivated this like this specific type of
like defense for
behavior
her. Yeah.
that now it's I think it's like grown so much bigger than back when she was like barbs get her.
Well, hurt people. Because I've always thought, I always thought that like I felt like Nikki felt like her treatment in the industry, like, people just kept coming after her. And so she did have the
Yeah.
barbs there to try to like, have
Hmm.
that relationship where they like, oh, they protect
Yeah.
my girls got me. So
But
I
I
get what
think
you mean
I
to say.
think it spiraled out
It spiraled
much
out. I mean, I
bigger
was
than
like,
that.
it can never cross the line. It can never
No.
cross the line.
No. We just cannot be at the point where we're on the lives. Bullet
Bullet frag, bullet frag.
frag. Like we're on the floor, like the phone
Home,
is
the
there.
things
Things
that
that
you
you talked about pertaining to
your
Labubu.
mother. Oh,
That's me.
labu,
You
labu,
know,
labu.
can I say this? The girls were mad at me the other day when I said we need to break out of PopMart. They were heated. The girls were heated. Several people in my DMs talking about, but
Okay,
I want a Labubu. And I'm like, listen, you want one, that's
because
fine.
the girls just got on it. I'm so sorry. Like, and mind you, hey, I'm putting my fucking foot down right now.
You know what? Wait,
I
let's move to nasty plot because this
okay.
it's kind of part of my nasty plot. Hold that thought. Hold it. We're gonna get right back to it. We're back. The questions are over. It's time for nasty plot. This is the segment where we talk about things that have come up in our life recently. We give advice on how it can be fixed. It's not the chance where people submit things to get advice. It's the part where we look back at America, we look back at the world, we say, you need advice. Before the break, we were talking about how the girls were mad at me when I said we need to divorce ourselves from PopMart. Hey Bash, you have thoughts about this. Let's talk.
Okay, here's my thing. I knew about and was privy to PopMart before they had physical stores. PopMart used to strictly be an online only store. They didn't even have all the characters that they currently have. I think at the time they only had Skull Panda, Hirono. I don't even know if the monster, when I first got into it, I don't even know 100% if the monster, I think the monsters might have been introduced, which if you don't know, the monsters is this like the IP that Labubus are part of.
Yeah, and they're not the only one.
They're not the only
There are other
ones.
monsters in there.
And then there was like Molly, I believe, and then Demu,
Yeah, I
and
think
maybe Sweet
Molly,
Bean.
Demu are like, kind of like the oldest ones, I believe.
Right. And then like Sweet Bean. I love some of the one thing about Sweet Bean, they put things Sweet Bean does, but some of the old Sweet Bean, they had one Sweet Bean series where it was like all convenience store themed.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
so it was like little parts of it. There was one with like the part where you get the slushy machine or the drink machine. Like,
Were they the kind where they like connected to each other?
no, they were like separate, but the
Okay.
way that they were done was really, really good. Um, but like, here's the thing. I get it. Everybody's excited. I think they just discovered this. I think for me, like I love Pop Mart and I know it probably and I think people think that I was just getting onto Pop Mart when I would post on my stories and stuff that I was going to Pop Mart. It was mainly the reason was because they had been opened it.
Yeah.
I think it was open for like a month or something when I started like going there like regularly. But it was because I had started a job that was like literally like like shops, not even two, like three shops down
Yeah.
from where the Pop Mart store is. Like I was going there when it was like they were like, oh, this is just a pop-up right now. Now it's like a permanent store. They're
Yeah.
like, we're
Yeah.
hoping to be permanent. And I get everybody's excitement. I think maybe now I'm more over it because I've been there. I've gone like, it's cool.
100%.
Chill the fuck out. And let me
Chill out,
tell y'all,
girls.
I talk to the workers there because they're really, really sweet. They know me because I've gone there a lot. You be stressing them the fuck out.
Stressing them out. Come on now.
Stressing them out.
Yeah.
Girl. Especially after Trump got elected, they were getting like threatening phone calls and stuff like that. On top of you bitches going in, when can I get a Labubu? Have some fucking patience, have some couth.
Let's
Obviously, too,
breathe.
I don't think PopMart 100%. Like, I think they had hoped but didn't quite anticipate for Labubu to blow up like this.
The way
And
that
I'm
they
sure that
did.
the supply and demand is crazy right now. They're working on it you know, like things aren't going to be perfect. Be patient,
Hmm.
calm down,
Yeah.
and touch grass. I saw somebody, they were like, they said something, they're like, I don't want a Labubu anymore. And then like it was just a video of like somebody like putting their hands on grass.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sorry, I had
Touch
to laugh.
grass.
And maybe I'm coming from a privileged place. I have my Labubu sitting up here. I have my
Yeah, I've
little
got him over
drawer Labubu.
there
I'm blessed, you know, but I'm like at the same time, to acquire one of these is not worth all of like the
fighting people physically
rugamaroo.
in
Like
lines at 3 a.m. It's not that serious. I
it's
swear. And I
too
think
much.
when I posted it, I was like, we just have to not fully divorce yourself from PopMart, but you have to realize that PopMart is, I think the exact wording I said was PopMart is not the be all end all
Okay.
for keychain plushes or other figurines. And that's the big thing is like, I get for the girls like I want a Labubu because you want to be a part of the hype. You want to be a part of like the in crowd who has that specific thing.
Yeah.
However, there is just as much other cute little plush keychain figurines that you can collect if you just want something to go on your bag and you're like, oh, a Labubu's cute, I want one, but you're open
Mm.
to getting other things. Other things are easier to get. You can get other things, you know. The options are here. This is cute.
Girl,
It's
why did I think you
small.
pulled up a mustard bottle for a second? I was like, huh?
Ketchup.
French? I was like, Frenchies.
Like there's so many options. And that's what I meant. But the girls were not happy when I said that.
They said,
They were
shut
not
the fuck
happy.
up.
Yeah, they said I actually will be at their online at 8:45, waiting to refresh the page. For me, I just don't want to. Once it became so much of a rat race, I was kind of over
Girl,
it.
I know. I was like, I tried like 3 times to get a Labubu because I really wanted the first series of Labubus because I only have to take a seat and then I have like a couple of the like collectible
Yeah,
ones.
I just want a macaron one. That's.
I just want a background.
I just want a macaron. I want the
You
little
know,
sesame bean one. I think the little gray one is so cute.
and it's funny because I think I had put in my story one time I had posted like because people still do. They'll send me memes of like that have to do with Labubus or if there's something, anything related to Labubu. People just DM it to me. Don't even
Same.
say anything. They just
Oh,
DM it to me,
same.
and I'm just like,
Someone I haven't even exchanged words with, but they know that I've posted about Labubu or the little trick is. They're like,
exactly.
send this your way.
Right. And I'm like, I was like, for a minute, I did really feel like the Labubu girly of Chicago. Like, I felt like I was giving the girls the inside tea, the scoop. I was telling girls the link of how to get them online. Like, I was helping the girls out, but I was like, I can't even tell you the last time I opened a Labubu. I feel so detached. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like a forgotten friend at this point.
Yeah. I've been pivoting into other things. I've got a couple
See?
cute things. I'm like looking over here. I've got some cute stuff on my shelf.
Me,
The ones that just shipped. Ugh. This is for the Patreons.
period. Oh, you love
I
that joke,
love
but
these
that joke is
ducks.
so
These ducks
cute,
are so
though.
cute. So the new series just dropped and is currently on its way to my house. The new series, they're smaller because this one's pretty big. It's not like
It's
one
pretty
that
big, yeah.
this is not when you hang up on stuff. This one is
Mm-mm.
like these are bookends to my desk. So I have this one here and I have a barbarian one.
Don't do this to me, Jay.
So these are my bookends. So this one is on this side of
Oh
the desk. This one's on this side. So they're kind of like the angel and the devil.
no, I love that actually.
So I love these. But the new series is a keychain plush,
Mm.
and they're smaller. They're about like
Wait, do you have the
I
one
think they're
that we
Labubu
got?
sized. I do. It's over there. It's over there. It's so cute.
We
I
got
love
these
wearing that one out.
together.
I like wearing that one out, and I get a lot of compliments on that one actually.
It's a little. I love it. Haven't worn it because it was starting to get dirty, and I want to see if I could clean it. But also,
I
I still love it. It is so cute. I
It is so
think
cute.
my only thing is that its mouth kind of looks like a pussy.
A little bit, but yeah, that was kind of the first part of my nasty plot. Is like it's okay. I get if you wanted Labubu, more power to you. I
Right.
think, but what I was saying is, if you want other thing, if you just want like a plush to hang on, there's so many other cute little keychains. There's so many other things you can get. PopMart alone, if you're like, no, I want PopMart.
Mhm.
PopMart themselves have tons of other cute things. Skull
Right.
Panda, Crybabies.
And other
Um,
cool, I implore y'all because a lot of these series are actually like made by an artist. The concepts are thought up by them or like a small team of people. Learn who those people are, see if they do other things, like
mhm,
you know, or just enjoy Pop Mart as a whole, not
yeah,
just Labubus, not just like
mhm.
I love like I my favorites are Hirono. I love
Love
Hirono.
Hirono. Yeah, I got my Hirono
Um,
mini bags over there.
Like I said, I don't own any Sweet Bean, but I love Sweet Bean. I love Hachi Poo Poo. And I haven't owned anything by Skull Panda, but I mess with Skull Panda.
The new ones are really cute.
Girl,
The
there
new
I
ones are
do kind of
really
actually
cute.
I'm a liar. I have the one plush pendant of uh Skull Panda where she has like the no, it's not a sweater. It's a scarf like wrapped around
Oh,
her.
the winter kind of one.
I actually love that one. I don't wear it with anything though because
Because
like
it's like winter. It's like, I feel
it's
like that one.
winter.
It's
I'm not
so
winter
tied to a
girly.
season. I
I
was gonna get that one,
know.
but I decided against like I just don't. It's so tied to a season. My last thing for this part of the nasty plot is going back to what you said about the POPmart employees. Be normal to the retail workers. They do not
Be
control how
nice.
much product they get. They do not control how it works. I
They're not in the factories
specifically,
making the shit. Like,
yeah, the same way that you go to Pop Art and know the employees, I go to the designer toy store down the street. I go to Rotofugi and I know the people there. And I
it also
go and I
reminds me.
talk to them. They stories I have told. Like the other day, I went and I can show this because her birthday, she'll get her birthday gift by the time this is out. I
Okay.
got this the other day. There was a little bit of a line because they're an official
Mhm.
dream seller. So like they're one of the people that like they sell the legit Sunny Angels, they sell the legit
Right.
Swiskies. So they have like a very limited supply and they get what they get from the company. The
Mhm.
stories they were telling me about people coming in and being crazy about these things, or
Yeah.
even when I was in the store, 20 phone calls came in. Do you still have stock? Do you still have stock? Do you still have stock? Oh my God. Maybe. When are you gonna run out? How much are you gonna have? The worker's like, I don't
No,
know. I don't know. I should
I
have
don't
some
know.
throughout the day, but
Ah, that's so annoying.
please be normal to retail
Be
workers.
normal.
I think that's the end. That's the end of that part. The last bit on my nasty plot. I am really into Magic the Gathering,
Hmm.
and I really want to bully my friends into playing card games with me. Because when I play Magic Gathering Arena, which is the online app, because all the time, I don't have many opportunities to play with my friends because it's
Mm.
hard to schedule adults to be in the same room together.
It's just a,
It's hard. The people who play online are the sweatiest sweats of all fucking time, playing the most insane decks where it's like they play a card and the card lets them search for a specific card that lets them search for another specific card that lets them get
yeah.
infinite mana that lets them kill me. And at that point, they're playing solitaire because I'm not playing the game. You're popping off this one combo, baby. You are playing solitaire at this point. I'm just sitting here and I don't have the time for it. So I
Literally,
leave
you're
the
sitting here
match.
digging in me, and I'm just
Crazy. It's wild. And I think for me, so much about playing it is it's a social game. I just like
it's
playing
a
card
social
games
game,
with my
yeah.
friends, because like the most popular Magic the Gathering format, or the one that I like the most at least, is called Commander. It's usually played in pods of 4 people, right? So everyone has a
Slay.
deck, and it's a little bit of a longer game. Everyone's got 40 life instead of 20, so the games just take a little longer. But for me, the biggest thing that I enjoy having fun with is like you get to bargain with other people. Like, oh, let's say Bash has a lot of powerful creatures on the board and might attack you next turn. I can help get rid of some of those creatures if you scratch my
Oh, if
back a
you
little
team
bit.
out with me.
Yeah, exactly. So for
Ooh.
me, there's like that kind of social aspect because it's more than just a one-on-one game that you can like, it's fun. I like stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's just hard. And then when I,
Period.
I play online, the people are so fucking sweaty. It pisses me off. I need people online to be normal. Do
Is
your
that the thing
comboing
too?
elsewhere.
I have not done a card game in a hot minute. A, because I think card games are definitely one thing where I will put a lot of fucking money in it. Do not play with me. I think mainly too because I really want to be like I'm not a person that really half asses anything. I kind of do things 110% for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I'm
Mm-hmm.
like excited about it. And so like if I'm especially if I'm starting something, I'm like, okay, I'm not just gonna sit here with the starter deck and I'm just like, oh my god, yay, ha ha ha. No,
You're like, how can I upgrade it?
we're
What
getting the
cards can I get out?
expansion, right?
Yeah.
Right, because I need to be the best. I need to make sure my deck is like top fucking tier. I need to be pulling my
Mm-hmm.
shit. And like that means you need to put a lot into it. And I ain't got it right now.
Even with this one, I like so this is a pre-con, so they construct this deck and then they sell them. But I got this and I liked it, but I said we can make some upgrades. We took a couple cards
Right.
out, added a couple cards of our
Right.
own. So yeah, I definitely get that.
We should plan a day where we go. Maybe we'll both just get a starter pack of like Digimon or something. Or it doesn't even have to be Digimon. It could be any card game. We both learn it together
Okay.
and just like
Are you into One Piece? The One Piece card game is apparently pretty fun.
I'm not into One Piece, but I respect One Piece, especially as a manga head, because I feel like One Piece, as like in the manga verse, I'll say One Piece is so respected. And also too, it's like it's one of those things like the only reason I haven't read it is not because I'm just like, oh, it's so stupid or like silly
It's
or
so
something like that.
long. It's so
It's
long. Where do I
so
start? Where do
long.
I
It's
start?
over 100 volumes right now. Like,
Crazy.
and I love collecting, and I'm like, I just cannot like actually I have one, I want to say, what is the longest running series? Like one of my favorite series in my collection, mind you, I only have the first six, but there's like 54, 55
God
volumes in it.
damn.
It's called Skip Beat. I
Okay, it's
love
cute
Skip
cover.
Beat. Skip Beat is so funny. It's so camp. The anime, also for my anime girlies, the anime is really, really good. It does a really, really great job of like, because it's like kind of like a comedy series about this girl trying to get revenge on her like ex friend because he used her to like get famous and like took advantage of her. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna break out on the scene and I'm gonna be better than you and you're gonna eat shit.
Oh, that sounds fun.
But
We're gonna
she's like
talk
so
about
clumsy and funny.
we're gonna talk about more manga in the Patreon. So if you're like, oh, that's a good recommendation, you want more, head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/poisonouchpod. $5 a month, bonus episodes, full video, all the shenanigans. Before we end, Bash, what is your nasty plot? And then we'll wrap up.
Okay, my nasty plot is bots on Sniffies. I'm sick. Why am I getting 8 messages from different bots being like Google da 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 da? I
See,
did put them.
I'm not on Sniffies, right? Because
No.
I'm currently monogamous. So explain to me, as someone who only knows Sniffies as like the map and then like the little
Oh,
news feed. Explain to me what this is.
so like sometimes there will be there's two bots that I encounter. There'll be these one bots that will send you a photo that has like a like website link on it, and it's
Okay.
usually some type of porn. It's usually cartoonish or like just like or they a lot of times the other thing there's one that I've seen a few times that is actually like ripped from like a OnlyFans creators like content, which I don't like that either.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, like if you want to have like fun or if you need head or like stuff like that,
Yeah.
they'll put that as a message and that like to kind of like I guess lure you onto a site or something like that. The other
Gosh,
one
who falls
is
for that stuff?
I don't. No one
I'm like,
ever does,
who is this
and that's the
for?
thing that pisses me off. The well, actually, let's put a pin in that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the other
Okay.
bot, the other bot is one where it says like Google, and then it'll like it has a bunch of letters together, and then it's like a smiley emoji, but like or like it's the it's the old school smiley,
Oh,
like
the
and smile.
emoticon.
Yeah,
Yeah, back when it was emoticons, not emojis. Yeah.
right, right. And it's just look, I don't like bots happen, but like I should not be getting like 8 consecutively, like in a matter of minutes.
That's crazy.
Like, what's going on? How did I don't that's the other thing. I don't even think I understand how bots are created. I'm like, do are like is it an actual robot online just making accounts to like try to lure people
Yeah, I
in
don't
and then get
know.
their info? I don't know. That's what it's I'm assuming it is, but either way, it's too fucking much. We
It's
need
too
to
much.
crack down because I can't I can't do my big one if my inbox is cluttered up with this mess, y'all.
And can you like report them?
You can report them, but it's they keep coming. They
Yeah,
keep
it's yeah.
coming. It's crazy. It's pissing me off. It was irritating me today. But I did put on my my note on on Instagram. I said Google DJ Gaybash. Oh,
My
and okay, what I was gonna put in. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
yes, yeah. No. I was just gonna say, what happens if you Google the like these random things? Like, is something actually gonna show
I'm
up? I'm
not
just,
doing it.
oh yeah, I don't
I'm
want
not.
to try
You
it.
do it.
No, I'm gonna go to the library. We'll do it at the library. We'll let one of their computers take the fall.
Public computer. Okay, smart, smart. I like how you think. I should
Yeah.
try that actually. Then when the computer crashes, I'm going to very calmly and silently walk the fuck out of
Yes.
that
Walk
library.
away. Sorry. Bye.
But no, I had not a friend. I knew this guy because he was like he kind of ran in my circles when I was like a freshman, sophomore in college. Go tell me why he actually ended up falling for one of the like bots on Grinder.
No.
or no, not even the bots. He fell for a scammer on Grinder. The
Sister.
ones where they like he like bought a bunch of like gift cards and like they like drained all the money. It was
No.
so silly. I was like, and it was, mind you, when did this happen? It had to have either been like 2018, 2019. I'm like, girl, this, how did you fall
Common
for this?
sense.
It
We
was
need like more
crazy.
financial literacy classes for people because how are
It
people
was
falling for
sad. I
scams?
was like, how are you like you went out bad. Like this is embarrassing.
And I'm actually scared because with how good AI is getting, I feel like it's going to be harder for people to, avoid certain types of scams, especially older folk. You know,
Yeah.
we need AI literacy classes. Otherwise, they're going to start scamming the old folk
Well,
bad.
it, because I feel like
Bad.
everybody in our generation can immediately like spot when something is AI. And but I'll talk to the people in the like older generations, they'll be like, "What? I wouldn't have guessed." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Look
Like,
at it's for it, like I think like the big thing is look at the textures.
look at
Look
the
at the way things are
textures.
moving. I think we're past the point of like look at the hands because now they've got past that. They know how to do the hands now.
It is learning. It's
It has
intelligent.
learned how to get past the hands. But I think currently the way to identify is like it's definitely in the textures and it's the way things are
Mhm.
moving. It's in kind of like if it's a video, it's in kind of the framing of the video a lot. There's still ways to keep it, but it's getting harder, and so I really do worry about older folk.
And that's, you know what? That's
It's
my other
tough.
nasty part is y'all, and we were talking about this earlier. Please invest in artists, support artists. Do not go to AI art. I do flyers every month um, with all of my dates of when I'm DJing, and I work with photographers. I work with artists. I pay them money unless they offer to do it for free, and then we're just like mutually. I'm making
Yeah,
sure that
that's
I'm
a
posting
collab.
them,
You
tagging
do
them,
me, I
collab.
do them. Yeah.
Right. Please support and stand by your artists. It's so terrible to like feel like what you can do. And that's the other thing too. AI is not recreating art well. It's just like people don't have to spend money on it or they spend less money than they would have to on an artist and it's easier. So they'll do that instead of
Hmm.
work with people. And it sucks. You know, I don't want to please don't take money out of those people's pockets. It's so easy. There's ways to work with artists. Like, let it be beautiful.
Yeah.
Let it be community. Let it be all of those things. AI is not community.
Hmm.
AI is quite literally taking from artists.
Exactly. And with that, I think it's a perfect little bow to you tied it back to other things you talked about. Beautiful. Bash, it's that time. Thanks so much for doing this.
No problem. I had to be here. I
This was
had
good. This was
to
good. Good Pride
be here.
episode. Fun.
Be who you
You
are.
are. Where can the people find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at DJ Gaybash. You can also find me on SoundCloud at DJ Gaybash if you want to listen to my Mixianas. There's
Good, good.
also, I think there's a few sets of me on YouTube, on Stank Bugs.
Okay.
Um, yeah, on my Instagram, I always post where I'm going to be playing. Yeah. I mean, you can find me out in the
Yeah.
streets, y'all.
Word.
People always will find me and be like, Gay Bash!
Out and about. I've been Jake. You can follow me at Poison Touch Pod. If you have your own questions, submissions, if you need advice, hit me over at poisontouch.com. And if you want full video episodes, bonus episodes, extra shenanigans, head over to the Patreon for $5 a month. That is patreon.com/poisontouchpod, where you can support the things that I do here. If you like what you see and you got a couple extra dollars to throw, why not throw them at me? You know,
Open your purse. Open your purse.
open your
I see it.
purse. Yeah. We will catch y'all on the flip. Poison Touch is produced, edited, and hosted by me, Jake Munoz. If you like what you see, give us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. It really helps us get out to more people. I'll catch you on the flip. Arguing with barbs is probably one of the most futile things you could do.